I was having a chat with someone last night, and they were asking me about how I build my kit for skydiving and doing radio work. So since I have to build it before the season starts, let's go ahead and video this, and that way you guys get to see and he gets to see. So this is my setup. All of my stuff fits in this bag. This is a Maxpedition something. I'll put a description there in a minute. But all that fits in here. Let's go through the process of putting it together. So my radio was out for repairs. I took the rails that I made for it off it. These rails are basically there to keep the cords from getting smashed, cord connectors from getting smashed in the bottom. So last year I went to the Fort Wayne Ham Fest at the end of the year, Fort Wayne, Indiana, to get some connectors that I was missing. PL249 to BNC female, so that I can then take this 90-degree angled cable, plug it in, and then it's coming out of the side on a 90-degree from the radio. That way it's not creating a pinch on the coax. This is difficult here because I already mounted the rail, but it's okay. I know that it is snug. Yep, there we go. Click. All right, so that's item number one out of the way. I'm going to mount one more thing to the back of the radio, and that is this cable I have here. It lets me output the sound from the radio so that I can record it, and just plugs right in here. And as you can see from, I made these bars long enough to, give all of these cables some relief from being bent. Things that I wish were a little bit different were the arrangement of the pockets on the Maxpedition, but they are what they are. So the right-hand pocket won't fit the battery. The right-hand pocket will fit the battery, but the left-hand pocket will not fit the battery. So I have to bring the power cable out of the right-hand side from the pack, and the antenna and sound cable out of the side on the left. Before I go up, part of what I do is I fold this back in so that I have full access to all the controls. But when I'm packing it and getting it ready, I have all of this covered up so that I can cinch this up and then cover with the flap and give the radio some protection from, dust and whatnot that, will be around in the field. Now that the radio's in, I'm gonna pop my battery in. So I used a Velcro strap on it. Open up so you can see it just perfectly fits in there. Snug this down, and then the excess cable from the power on the radio goes into this pocket. And just hangs out right there. I do not connect it because if I connect it, the radio will instantly go into standby mode, or into making sure that it can power up immediately mode. I suppose that's standby. And it'll drain the battery down over a few days, and I don't want to deal with that. So when I'm not using it, I simply leave it disconnected. It's right there, it's ready. One of the things I'm considering doing to this pack is burning a hole from this main compartment in here through to this side to bring out the antenna cable and to bring out the audio cable. But I want to see how it does this year, or at least the first couple of jumps this year, before I do that. This flap has two purposes for me. One is to secure the radio in, and the other one is to manage the coax. So now that I have the tension where I need it to be, I'm going to spool this coax, the over-under method, if you will, with just enough left over on the connection so that I can attach the antenna. But as you see here, go ahead and close that up. I don't need that compartment right now. The pressure from the tension of the buckle being snug will keep the coil from unraveling. Next, my Pectena infit half wave. Let's see, it goes there, 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 and let's snug you up a little bit here. Don't want to put too much tension on it, but this top pocket on the pack fits that antenna winder perfectly. So I've learned the hard way that when I store it or when I start stowing it away, I need to make sure that the wound cable is out of the way so that I can twist and lock the BNC. I lost one of these last year on account of not doing that, and it was because I had enough wire bunched up here that when I went here, it got to there. I don't know if you guys can see that well enough, but it didn't lock, and when I used it, it worked. But when I was winding the antenna back up, when I was pulling the coax back in to get the antenna put away, there was just enough bumpiness in here that it went like that and fly away it did. So locked in, verified, and now I'm going to put this in the pocket and zip up the pocket. And then the last two bits that need to go in here are my audio recorder. So there, it's locked so it doesn't power on by mistake. Into the pocket. And then my APRS beacon / handy talkie will go in last, right on top of it, in here. Actually, what I'm missing one step, and that is because this is going to go in here and the zipper can be open. I'm going to take this daisy chain of 550, and I'm going to, that way if for some reason this actually manages to fall out, it just dangles from the pack. I don't want to lose this thing, and I certainly don't want to, harm someone with it, hitting them or their property. It'd be a real bad day for a lot of people, including myself, because I'd feel very guilty if something like that were to happen. So there we go. This is ready. The last thing is this is a super elastic signal stick. To make it a little bit easier to manage, I will coil it and put a knot in it. Obviously not a full-on knot, just to get it out of the way. This is what it looks like. I'll show you guys what it looks like here in a second when I'm wearing it. So here's the setup. Obviously, I don't know if you can see that, but I have my parachute rig on me. These are the leg straps right there. And as you can see, it's hanging just below my pelvis, or just right at my pelvis level. When it comes time to get out of the airplane, this is how I'm configured. That way there's nothing that in here that can get in the way of deploying the parachute. Once I have a safe parachute over my head, then I can open up, let the coil fall, unzip the top pocket, pull the antenna out, uncoil the wire, right, for the antenna, and then all I have to do is just let it go, and it's going to go off to my left side. Obviously, I didn't configure this for jumping operations, but this would have been already down, and the battery would be connected. But basically now is power on, verify that I'm in the correct frequency, and where's my microphone? See, this is why I need checklists. Need one more thing that I forgot in the pack. There we go. So good thing I'm going through this now. Microphone goes on, it's in there. Typically what I do is I have the microphone under the radio, and then the lock is on the microphone. so that I can't shift the frequency by mistake with these buttons. Power goes on, I verify my frequency, key up, call CQ, and go about the jump. All right, gang, there you have it. That's my Parachute Mobile kit ready to go. Opening weekend was a bust for doing Parachute Mobile work. The winds were way too high to be making a landing at the park. So I'm going to have to postpone that until later in the summer. But until then, be on the lookout. Toad's Discord, the Ham Radio Clubhouse Discord, Ham Radio Crash Course Discord. I'll post on all three when it's time to jump. And, you guys will have a better idea. Go to kd9oln.com. I'll be putting some content on there soon, I hope, with a better idea of what it is I'm going to be doing exactly this year. We'll catch you guys down the log. 7-3.